Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. If you're catching us on the replay, as always, we appreciate it. We hope you guys are having a great night. If you're new to us, please subscribe, like, and share. Hit the alert bell. So, thank you all for being here. We'll give it a little bit of time and let some people pile in here. All right, everybody. All right. Whew. Whew. It's kind of chilly tonight. Starting to warm up in my part of the world, so I'm excited about that. But it's still a little chilly, Wish I had some chili. A little chilly out. We got a lot done today. We did a bunch of work. So out in the yard, out in the back patio, the dirty kitchen area. I got that in my ear. So we're doing a little bit later tonight. All right. Oh, I got the research tool happening. We're looking for some good deals on the internet. We're still contemplating whether we're going to buy another puppy, another dog, another wiener dog. You know, ours passed away. So, trying to get rid of some ads. I got so many freaking ads on this freaking internet that's unbelievable. It's like Facebook is nothing but internet, but ads these days. Man, it's crazy. Crazy, everybody. Well, yeah. So we're doing pretty good today. We're having, every day gets better for us. The weather is nice. I got outside to let some work out in the patio, the dirty kitchen area. I got a video that I'm trying to put together, and I finished that up. And maybe tonight, later, when a bunch of people get here, I'll take you outside and let you see. But I'm putting together a video about our new dirty kitchen. Outside, of course, is where your dirty kitchen goes. And I like it. We've got a lot more room out there now. We got the beautiful fireplace and everything. So it's looking pretty good. I was out there a little bit ago. I took a little snippet of a video. So HN, how are you? Good to see you. What are you doing this wonderful night? So we've been busy. I went. You know, I don't have a lot of tools because I don't want to do a lot of mechanicing. and I just don't. I don't have the desire. My health, I struggle, so But today I thought, well, I'm working on my dirty kitchen, and I got to work on the plumbing a little bit of my dirty kitchen. So I need some channel locks, right? And so I thought, I'm going to just run up to Harbor Freight and grab some cheap channel locks. So I leave the house, and it's a good 30 minutes from my house, Harbor Freight is. And I knew that. But I run into a gigantic car accident, and I get diverted to somewhere way off that if I get to Harbor Freight, it's going to take me another additional 15 minutes. So I turn around and just say, the heck with it, I'll come back home. And tomorrow when we're running around with Lorelei, I'll pick up some channel locks from Walmart or somewhere. So you're getting, Henry says, I'm doing good, just trying to stay dry. Yeah, we had a nice dry today. We had some cloudy weather, but it was dry for the most part. It got up in the mid 70s. Tomorrow's supposed to be a little bit cooler here, so I'm not looking forward to that. But we gotta go grocery shopping tomorrow. I got a whole list of things we need to get. So we got to get some food in our house. Oh my goodness! But yeah, I've been working on my dirty kitchen. So hopefully it's going to dry out for you guys soon too. I would imagine. Been raining all day. We know the feeling, man. I told you we had weekends where that's all it did was rain, 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 and I mean rain like crazy. So yeah, I'm ready for the weather to dry out myself. I really am. I'm gonna have my lawn guy come by next Thursday, I think, and mow for the first time of the year, and it'll be good. So we got a bunch of people watching in the background. You guys come forward, let us know who you are. Thank you all for the thumbs up. We appreciate that. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts, just let me know, man. We are here to solve the problems of the world, to make YouTube great again, to grow, to learn, to do cool stuff, man. So we appreciate everybody coming in. But yeah, that's what we've been doing. So I'm really happy with the outdoor area. I've been debating. Henry, I told people last night, and I'm using this analogy. Oh my God, that I feel like I'm stuck in traffic. And even if there was no traffic, I wouldn't know which way to go. So I kind of feel like I'm stuck in traffic. But I got my patio area. I know you may have, I don't know if you saw it when you were here, but we extended it, made it better. We put some solar lighting out there, which is really cool. I've been debating about putting a TV up, and TVs are cheap now. I could just go get a 50-inch at Walmart for a couple $100 and put it on that wall and they have the TV covers, the weatherproof stuff for like $50 on Amazon or less. Mounting bracket, of course, you'd have to have one of those. And I do have power out there, and so I can run power to it and run an antenna on it and ran an antennae on it. And if it's a smart TV, I can pick up my internet. So I've been debating about that, but I don't know how long I'm going to live here. I don't want to live here, but I do spend a lot of times outdoors. Tim is in the house. Good evening, Tim. Thank you for coming in, Tim. What's the temp? Are you in the hundreds or the 90s? So I've been debating if I should throw a TV up, and just because. I don't know. It's a cool area now. You guys will see the video. Lorelei was out there shoveling concrete and house slippers. So I'm going to show some of those videos when I get them. Tomorrow I'm going to try to work on those while Lorelei's sleeping, to put a video together about our new dirty kitchen. So, but yeah, it's cool, man. I'm excited, but I don't know. The weird thing is, I don't know if I want to sit outside and watch TV. I sit outside a lot, but I don't want to watch TV outside. I go outside to have peace and quiet. I need to get a 99 degrees at 10 a.m. Tim says, holy crap and butt farts, Tim. That's hot. I would like to, and I need to find, and I don't want to use my phone, everybody. So I know what you're going to think, everybody. I don't want a Bluetooth. We have Bluetooth speakers. I don't want one of those where I hook my phone up to it so that I can have music. I have this device. that we got on clearance at Walmart. It's a Bluetooth speaker. So what I want to do is be able to listen to music some outside in my backyard, quiet music. And it does have a radio, but it doesn't have a very good antennae. Did it even charge? Shit, no. Hell, it may not be any good anymore, guys. Damn, I thought I had it charging. Huh. It didn't charge. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. But see, it's supposed to have a radio, you know, but the antennae doesn't work very well. But what I need is I like to have I need to just buy another cheap radio, I guess. Maybe go to Walmart and get me a cheap radio. I need an all-weather one because it does get rainy and wet out there quite a bit. Yeah, agent, just get ready. That's what I mean. I need to just get one, but one that can tolerate the rain. Because I don't want to Bluetooth my phone or anything. I just like sitting outside and listening to good music, you know. And I sit there in the mornings, you know, when I do live streams or after live streams, and out there, I used to sit with my dog Daisy for hours out there and listen to music and play games on the iPad. So I need to just get me a radio is what I need to get. So I don't know. But I know a TV out there would look really cool, but I don't want to watch TV outside. No, Tim, there's not. Not that I can find. See, it's, you know, it's a Bluetooth speaker, but I don't know why it didn't charge. I hope it's not broken. We got this on clearance really cheap. See, and it has all of those ports, but, you know, that's about it. But I thought I had it charging. Maybe this cable's not any good. Yeah, I just know that it would be cool. But there it goes. Maybe I didn't have it in all the way to charge. But I think a TV, I mean, would be really cool. But it would run me probably, what, $300? You know, because TVs now, a 50-inch TV at Walmart's like $238. So by the time you bought a bracket and a cover, well, maybe $350. But I'd rather buy a dog. So we're not going to put one outside. But here's what I need to do. I need to get the radio. But, you know, I got that big blank wall where the chimney is, the outside of the chimney. I need to put an piece of artwork. I need to find some kind of like metal sculpture that I can put up there to kind of break up the weirdness. But I do have the fire pit now. It kind of reflects up on that wall. It's really pretty. Yeah, I won't put a TV outside. There's a place for headphones to plug into it. Yes, there is. No, there's not. There's a place for a microphone. No headphones. We got some really good headphones in the closet. Hawk is back in the house. Hawk, how are you? Good to see you. I got TV someone put and left outside. Why people put a lot of things outside and go, yeah. A lot of people dump things on the curb and leave them there. No, I don't. We have a couple of headphones that's really cool. We have one that you can plug into a smart TV, a TV, and the headphones becomes the speaker of the TV. So therefore, like if Lorelai's sleeping and there's a football game, I could hook this up, and the sound would all come through my headphones. So I could just sit there on the couch remotely and listen to that. So we have headphones like that for the TVs. If I still had a welding machine and could make you something, yeah, you know, that wall, what I've done is I put the fireplace that I bought last year, not in the center of the patio, but up against the wall a little bit. So the flames kind of, I just, flicker. It doesn't heat up that wall, but it flickers up against it. So I thought some metal artwork might be really cool, especially if it had some different colors and shapes. And maybe that would all reflect and be really cool out there. Yeah, I'd like to do something, that I would. I would, Tim. I think that'd be great. Get a still cut out of the person fishing and landing the large fish. I would love that because you know how much I love fishing. So that I would truly, 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 truly love. I absolutely would. I thought about getting a large cutout of myself and putting up there, but I think people might think I'm egotistical if I did that. So, Hog says, maybe you watch on 65-inch TV. Well, it would fit there, but, one thing you got to know about TVs, right? The bigger the TV is, the further away you need to be from it, or it's not going to be any good. So it's really not about how big the TV is, it's about your viewing distance is what is important. So where that area is, a 50 or 55 inch would be the max I would go, because you don't want it to be blown up so big when you're close. We have a 75 and a 70 in the house. We have like a 75 in the bedroom and a 70 in the above the fireplace. So something like a bottle tree? You mean one of those wooden sticky things where they put like the blue bottles on, like a tree? Yeah, I don't know if I like that. That's really not my forte, if that's what that is. But yeah, I don't know. I have to try to figure out something to find, right? What do we call it? Metal artwork? Keep it shiny. Yeah, we want it shiny so it can reflect the colors of the flame. Right. Because on my fireplace, I got those really pretty blue glass stones, or whatever they're called, the glass beads. That's what that does. And we're going to do a live stream outside when the weather's a little nicer, and I'll show you guys all. And the new solar lighting I got out there, I really like. I hope you guys like it. So, yes, a big piece of metal, something, 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 would be really cool. I'm just, yeah, something, let me see, metal artwork fishing, because I like to fish. I thought about putting a big, my initials out there. Yeah, you can order them. I see them on the internet now. There's some really nice. Ooh, Tim, there's some really nice ones. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe here's what I'll do is I'll pick 5 or 6 that I really like, and we'll put it up for judging and let everybody kind of judge. But Tim, I agree. Everybody, I agree. I want it to be reflective. A lot of these are just flat black, but I would like it to be, there's a lot of them that light up now. I guess they got LEDs behind them and you can remote control them. But I think, I wonder how much this one is, how big they are. Let's see. Oh, I got it. All right. So a 24 inch, because I would need a big one. I need a big one to take that space up, is what I would need. Nisha, hello to you. How are you, Nisha? Thank you for coming in. Everybody say hello to everybody, by the way. Everybody say hello to Nisha. Yeah, you agree, Henry? Ooh, Bigfoot picture that lights. Oh, yeah. There you go. Nisha, it's good to see you. Thank you for the kind words about our little puppy Daisy. We loved our dog tremendously, and it's really hard on both of us. And Lily, our red dog, is I think Lily's taking it really, really hard. She's having some emotional issues. Now, Lorelai and I have them too, but we're humans. So I'm really worried about my dog, but we can't afford to buy a new a $2,000 dog because when we got Daisy, she was only like $300 to $500. Now they're like 2,000 to 3,000. So we're gonna have to wait until we find somebody that has a winter dog puppy that they want to give away, or that we could just give a few $100s for. So that's what we're working on. We're working on networking with people that don't raise them to sell them, but have them, and that would sell one to us at a reasonable cost. Henry saying hello to everybody. Hello, HN. So, Nisha, how's your school going, by the way? I know Lorelai misses talking to you. I'm trying to get her, and Nisha, maybe you can encourage her. I'm trying to get Lorelai excited about doing midnight live streams again, because I think it would help her. Get some battery-powered LED lights outline the fish jumping. Yes. Nisha's doing good. Yeah. Pat's in the house. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, and if you guys see anything that you think is really cool, message me. Send it to me on Facebook, in Messenger. Send it to me, man. I'd love to see what you guys think about something for my brick wall. Because my brick wall is pretty big, so it needs to be pretty big. But yeah, even if I don't have the fireplace on and reflecting against the metal, if it backlights, that would be cool. And there's enough distance between the flames that it's not going to melt or get hot. Pat's in the house. Pat says hello to Nisha. Tim says hello, Pat. Nisha's almost talking with her. Yeah, she's she's been a little stressed at work, to be honest. And now we're both stressed about Daisy dying. And we're kind of, as I'm telling everybody, we feel like we're stuck in traffic, and I have my new analogy of this, and what I've been running on the last few days, is we feel like we're stuck in traffic. We can't go forward, we can't go backwards, we can't go left, we can't go right. And even if we could, we wouldn't know which way to go. So, but yeah, Lorelai needs to get back engaged and get to chit chat with you guys again. I'm waiting to hear back from my vet doctor, Henry says. H.N. says she might know someone who has a puppy. Nice. Nisha says, hey, Pat, Henry, everybody said hello. Good, hello. She's also not doing Friday Lives for so long. Yeah, she's been kind of burned out, I think, or stressed out, not on live streams, but, to do these live streams, for her, who's not a true extrovert like me, because, I'm truly an introvert that's an extrovert. I can flip-flop back and forth. But Lorelai's a lot shyer than I am. And so I'm hoping that she gets excited. The weather's getting better here. We're trying to do more activities. I'm hoping that she'll get back to, because she needs to talk to people. She really does. She needs to talk to people. She's also, stuck in traffic, just like, kind of like the Philippines. It's, just stuck in traffic. It's kind of crazy. But it's the only analogy I have. And is we don't know which way to go, we have so many things around us. And then, of course, I didn't get to complete my mission in Alabama and Florida this last trip because our dog died. So we came home early. And I canceled a lot of appointments and a lot of things I had scheduled for Thursday, Friday, and part of Saturday morning. So I didn't get any of that done. And that is part of the fact that now I am stuck in traffic. And we have other reasons why we're stuck in traffic. So, yes, it will help a lot, Nisha. It will. She needs to do that. She hasn't been, she just, Crystal Lynn says hello to everybody. Everybody says hello to Crystal Lynn. So, Nisha, maybe you can encourage her on Facebook to come do a live stream and do that sometime. Crystal, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for saying hello to everybody. But yeah, if you guys see a piece of cool artwork or something, man, send it to me. I'd love to figure out what I'm going to put on that wall. Because I really don't want to put a TV out there. I just, if we were down in Florida and it was a big screened in like a Florida room, sure, why not? But not here. You'll do that? Great. Tim says, hello, Crystal. Good to see you, he says. But yeah, I was trying to run some errands today, but we had so much traffic and car accidents, I just turned around and came home. I figure I'll do them tomorrow with Lorelai. Oh, she's off. But I hope you guys like how we've done our dirty kitchen. You know, I'm excited, and I'm going to try to put the video together tomorrow. And yeah, we like it. So much more room out there. And we sit outside a lot during the warm weather. And we have a couple of friends. We don't have a lot of friends that come over, but we do have a few friends that come over and hang out and around the fireplace and just, you know, and we really like that. Crystal says, I am great. I learned the definition of covert and got to learn what high stakes covert operations is. Well, Crystal, what is the definition of covert? I know what my definition of covert is. What did you learn it was today? Our military guys definitely know the terminology. Pat says, hello, Crystal. Pat, how are you doing, buddy? What's going on in your world? You know, but so that's kind of what we did. You know, we got the lawn mowing guy coming next week, so I had to get my yard cleaned up today. For that, keeping a secret from family and friends. Yes, covert is exactly that. Not only family and friends, but your enemies, you know, things like that. Yes. A covert operation in the military sense is a top secret operation where they're going to do something. But yeah. So, Crystal, let me ask, do you feel good about learning that? Was it a good experience or a bad experience learning that? Pat says he's doing good. Yep, I know very well. Yes, Pat said weather's not been too bad. Good, Pat. It's starting to clear up there. It's starting to do the same here. Correct. Yes, Crystal says. We're supposed to be in the 80s next week. I'm very excited. You know, I drove my truck today for the first time in about, God, a month. Yeah, at least a month. And I realized, man, my truck is a mess. I got in my truck and went, who in the heck owns this truck? Look at all this garbage in here. Somebody put a bunch of garbage in my truck. And I don't know who it was, but if I find out who put all that garbage in my truck, they're in trouble. I'm on the fence. I'm watching to see it again if I am right. All right. So it can be used for good. Covert operations can be a good thing and they can be a bad thing, depending on if you're the one who's implementing it or the one that it's being implemented on. So, oh, great, Pat. Congratulations. Everybody say congratulations to Pat. His son turned 18 years of age. Man, congratulations, Pat. That's outstanding. I'll give his gift tonight. I bought him a snappy pizza. I don't know what's a snappy pizza. I love pizza. What's a snappy pizza? I don't know. So yeah, everybody congratulate Pat. Man, his son's 18. Outstanding. You know, before you know it, he'll be getting married and having 27 kids, and now you'll be Grandpa Pat. So, what is a snappy pizza? I don't know what that is. James Robinson called me late last night. We were live doing this, live chatting, whatever you call it, FaceTiming? Yeah. And he was showing me a pizza that he got in California that was all organic, you know, that he buys. And I'm thinking, man, look at that pizza. Look at that pizza. Because Lorelai doesn't like pizza. So, man, I'm drooling. James making him a pizza and I'm drooling. Snappy Tomatoes Pizza. Man, I don't know. Congratulations from Tim. Have you heard of that place? No, I've never heard. So Snappy's is the name of the pizza joint? Do you know Ron? I know a Ronald, but which Ron are you referring to? Thanks, Tim. Okay, I'm going to Google it because no, I do not know. Snappy pizza. Ah, I'm going to pull up their website. Yeah, it's good looking pizza. What kind of pizza are you buying him, or is that a surprise? Very nice. Let me see if there's anything close to me. Good pizza. Let me see if there's a snappy pizza by me. Nope, not a pizza joint by me. There we go. Crystal wants to know if we know the Ron my Aunt Cheryl accuses of pushing her down the stairs in 1105 Street Davis Road. No, I don't know him. Is he? Do you think he did it? Do you think he pushed the guy down, or your aunt down the stairs? Do you think he really did it, or is the aunt lying? Which side do you go on? You know? Huh. I just got a weird message. I think it's a scam. I got a pop-up thing that just said, can you tell me when the medical equipment will be arriving? We didn't order any medical equipment. We don't have any medical equipment coming here. Not that I know of. We haven't ordered anything since we got back from Alabama. So, 2 pizzas. Do they got thin crust? I like thin crust, by the way. Good. I believe you. It looks good. It looks good. And I like local pizza joints, small ones, those are the best. That's the covert classify as I don't like having threats against my kids. Well, Crystal, I understand that. I don't think anybody likes having threats against their children and or themselves. And sometimes, what I'll say is sometimes threats are people running at the mouth. Sometimes you got to take it seriously. I mean, dead seriously. Other times you got to take it seriously. And other times it's just somebody running off at the mouth. So you kind of got to gauge those. Nisha, we appreciate you. Young lady, we appreciate you. I will say hi to her and thank you for reaching out to her, Nisha. We appreciate you. Everybody say good night to Nisha or good morning, whichever you prefer. So yeah, it just depends. How was the threat? Was the threat in writing? Was it verbal? So when you have the police backing them up, meaning they're helping to make the threats, or they have heard about the threats and are involved in the threat issue. So are they, do they understand that somebody made threats and they know that it's bad, or are they part of the ones doing it? There's a big difference there. And then, of course, what is the context of the threat? What is the threat? Is it a threat that I'm going to chop your head off? Or is it a threat that you're never going to see your mom again? What is, what's the nature of the threat? They know all about it, good. So that's a good thing if they know all about it. Remember, what I tell everybody is this: documentation, documentation, documentation. If you're in a dispute with anybody about anything, document, document, document. You can never, ever, ever have too much documentation. I don't care what it is. And I mean it. I don't care. Document, document, document. And that's why it's a covert operation. So the police, the Canadian police, are working covertly to deal with the threat against your children. Is that what you're saying? Well, and I think then if that's the case, if the police are working to discover these threats and to deal with them, I think the best thing to do is to document everything and let the police know. And let the police do their thing. Let them go ahead and investigate and do what they need to do. But you always got to document. Tell people this: if it's not documented, it didn't happen. Pat says, you're right. Yes. It is the simplest thing, and I don't care what it is. Document, document, document. Tim says he documented his brownout lasted 12 hours. He has documentation, folks, about his 12-hour brownout, Tim, I'm going to tell you, buddy, I miss the Philippines, and I know I was not a very good expat in the Philippines. I really wasn't. My mind wasn't in the right place, and blah, 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 and we did a lot of things wrong. But Tim, one thing I do, I miss the Philippines, but one thing is, I don't miss those brownouts. So, but it's good that you documented it, You got documentation to say this is what's happening. I do that, but guess what? They don't take them serious and are trying to use mental issues as an excuse. Well, okay, I'll tell you this, because I have some knowledge in this arena. If they're looking at you as somebody that has mental health issues, right, which is okay. I have mental health issues myself, trust me, I have them. And if they're looking at you, or if somebody's looking to me and going, David has mental health issues, so I'm not going to take him serious. What I do is I calm down, I refocus, I try to understand what it is that they think is the issue. Why is it that they don't believe me? Is it because I'm calling them 20 times a day? And so they think I'm crazy because I'm bugging them to find out who stole my bicycle? And they think I have mental health issues like that? If that's the case, I try to figure that out. Then I back off. I continue to document. But sometimes less is more. I don't miss the brownouts when I'm on vacation. I know. Are you coming back to the United States or Canada this year, Tim? Agent says, I'm going to make sure I have a generator for my house there in the Philippines. Yes. 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 Look, Tim knows this. Solar is really great. Solar fans, other things. Generator would work. Make sure you get it up off the ground. Make sure you bolt it so that it can't be stolen. And make sure you buy it when there's not a tropical storm or power outages. When we were in the Philippines and Typhoon Odette hit and destroyed us, generators tripled in their price. Tripled, quadrupled. A $300 generator was now like $2,000. So, no, that's my daughter who lives in Intrust, calling them 20 times a day, sometimes false accusations. Well, and then what they're going to do, Crystal, is look at it and say, well, she has, we have to look at the mental health issues. We have to acknowledge them. And if her false accusations or her accusations continue to prove out to be false, then they're going to continue to discount her. And so I guess my question for you, Crystal, is do you think your daughter has serious issues and she's making up lies? Or do you think she's telling the truth and everybody thinks she's lying? Welded to the ground, yeah. Well, everything's concrete or hollow block in the Philippines, Henry. So yeah, you're gonna have to do something with it. I'm just telling you. Pat says, oh man, yes. So that's what we got to look at is, and this is what I mean by documentation, Crystal and everybody else. If I'm going to say Henry HN stole my bicycle, I'm going to give every bit of document that I have. Maybe all I have is the receipt where I bought the bike and the serial number and videos of me riding the bike so I can show it's mine. Whatever the documentation, I can show that. I knew that Henry messaged me one time and said he was up in Northwest Arkansas. You see what I mean? So and then when he was here, my bike disappeared. So that's documentation. So, and if these accusations are going against you, then you need to document your activities, whether you like it or not, so that you can prove, hey, Henry can prove, sorry, I wasn't in Arkansas. I was in the Philippines at the time your bicycle got stolen. So quit accusing me of stealing your damn bicycle. Right, Henry? So, well, and it's probably good that she has a public guardian, that she's in a care facility, that somebody's looking after her and helping her with her mental health issues. You're really good. Documentation's important. It is. It is. It's even like the K-1 visa. One of the reasons Lorelai and I, our K-1 visa from the Philippines got approved so quickly, we submitted a package that was this freaking thick of documentation of how much time we spent together, all the text messages, my tax records, everything ever imaginable. We submitted so much documentation that I'm sure it drove them crazy, because we sent a stack of papers like this documenting our relationship and my income, which got us approved for the K-1 visa like that. That's what I say. Document. Everything on here is documented as well. Good, outstanding, and it should be. Pat says, I had the same thing, brother Dave, when I first got married. Yeah, the first go around, it is. You overkill them. And but Crystal, sometimes, there's not a lot you can do sometimes, Crystal, but just be yourself, keep moving forward, and hope for the best for everybody. Sometimes we got to be like Woodrow Wilson and Donald Trump and say, we are going to look after ourselves first. So kind of, we're not an isolationist country at this point, but Woodrow Wilson believed in that. He wanted to take care of America. And my analogy, or my thing here is, Crystal, sometimes we have to take care of ourselves and let everything else deal with everything else. I couldn't care about everyone. Sorry. Well, that's good. Don't worry about it. Pat says, I am divorced now. And he has the documentation to prove it. So, but I don't think you should care about everybody else. I really believe this. I'm one of these believers that I don't like to stick my nose in other people's business. If you ask me my opinion, I'm going to give it. And you're not probably going to like it, but I'm going to give it. Same here, Pat. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed being divorced. So, yeah, Pat can document, which he's going to need when he gets married again, right? So when Pat goes to the Philippines next year and he meets the love of his life, or for Pat, the next cute girl that says hello, sorry, Pat, he's going to have part of his K-1 visa process will be submitting the copy of his divorce decree. So, yeah. So, okay, so your husband's deceased. I don't know about Canada, but in America, your children would get benefits from the government and or you also. So that can be a good thing, but it's sad that he's deceased, and I'm sorry for that. We never, I couldn't imagine, to be honest, if Lorelai passed away. I really couldn't. I know it's going to be hard when I die on her. The odds are that I will die way before she does. It's just a math thing. So, Pat says, it's okay, Brother David. I said, yeah, I got to poke you a little bit, Pat. So, I couldn't imagine if Lorelai passed away. I know personally that I would never get married again. Not that I have anything against marriage. I just, this is my only marriage. And I just wouldn't do it again. Nope, hate to tell you, no benefits. Well, that's pretty sad. Sometimes in America, children can get Social Security benefits when their father or mother dies, up until the age of 23 if they're in college. So that's what happens to Social Security in America. So if I had a child and Lorelai died, or I died, and she, then that child could receive benefits from Social Security to kind of like child support in a way, I guess is one way to look at it. That's how they do it here in the States. But we don't wish that upon anybody. I think, you know, I'm a really weird human being. I really am. I know I deal with human death way different, way more rational, way more scientific, way less emotional than I would my dog who died last week. My dog dying destroyed me. Lorelai died would destroy me, but I would have a better understanding because she's a human being, and you can communicate and understand things better. So I know that's kind of a weird thing, but that's truly how I am. Would I be devastated? Of course. It would shock the world, you know, but I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. I have a weird thing. Pat says, don't wish that on anybody. We don't. We don't want anybody to suffer. We really don't. I don't want people to suffer. I don't want them to hurt and grieve. I think people that fight all the time are idiots because they're wasting their life fighting. My husband and I were on AISH, okay, and nope, no child support. All hence my decision for giving up custody of the five of them. Okay, so you realize, and if I can, say, it kind of sounds like, Crystal, that you realize that after his death and the benefits you were receiving weren't enough, and if you weren't going to get additional benefits, then best thing to do was to what we call let the state or the government take care of the kids, is what I understand. So I've known somebody that did that here in America, but they didn't give their kids up. They collected, in America, they had 5 kids and they were collecting $1,000 a kid every month from the government. So they were very, very happy in America to get $5,000 a month, and they never had to work. So they didn't have a job and collected $5,000 a month. I mean, that's a lot of money in America. So obviously Canada and America is quite a bit different there. So, and Tim, what part of Canada are you going to go visit again? I forgot. I know Alberta is talking about that they're going to break away from Canada and they're going to come join the American people because they're smart. It sounds like Alberta is they're going to look at doing a referendum to become independent next year. And I saw some things today which I found was fascinating, that there are people out there blaming the United States government for this. They're blaming Donald for poking the bear about Canada being the 51st state, right? And so now there's people going, oh man, Donald is way smarter than anybody ever gave him credit for. He's been poking that bear. He's got the Canadian provinces fighting with each other because what he really wants is fair trade with Alberta. He doesn't give a crap about the other part of Canada. He wants fair trade with Alberta. And if Alberta separates, then he can have his own deal with Alberta, separate from Canada. They make it, Crystal Lynn says, they make it to next year. Remember the Billy Jack song, Tin Soldier? No, I don't remember it, but let me Google it and see if it refreshes my brain. Tin Soldier? Come on, I'm a little tin soldier. Is that what you said, Crystal, or did I get it all screwed up? Tin Soldier, all right. So Tin Soldier. Let's see. All right, here's the lyrics. I am a little tin soldier that wants to jump into the fire. You are a look in your eye, a dream passes the sky. Not very good lyrics. But I don't understand. All I need is to treat me like a man, because I ain't no child. Take me like I am. I got to know that I belong to you. I do anything you want. It's not a very good song. It's not very catchy. Is that what you're referencing there, Crystal? HN says, I still think we should make Mexico a state so we don't have to go through the border patrol nonsense all the time. Most of them already are here anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be okay, and I know maybe people will be offended by this. I think it's okay if we make Mexico our bitch, but I don't want to make Mexico a state. Maybe like a territory. I wouldn't give them statehood. I would make them a territory, maybe. So I don't know. But Mexico would have to truly change a lot. I will be going about 70 miles north of Vancouver. All right. Cause yeah, nice. I think I was talking to Dennis the other day. I think he's in Thailand or Japan or somewhere right now. I don't know where Dennis, who lives in Canada, is. He's somewhere. He's been traveling. So, but yeah, that's kind of the interesting thing. They're going to have that decision whether they're going to break away from Canada and become an independent whatever country, I guess. You like that, Henry? And if they do, then they will make a deal with us for America to protect them and to have free trade across the border. And since they don't have their own military, we would be their military and all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes with all of this tariff and non-tariff and, all of this Canadian stuff. So I think it's funny. Henry says, yep, that would work too. All right, see. But I still want a border there, to be honest. I'm happy having the border. I really am. Henry, it's one thing that I'm happy to have. Is the border. Now, look, I will say this. If anybody would like to have California, I think America ought to give away California. I really do. I think we ought to put up a wall around California and hell, give it to somebody else. I don't know, give it to Mexico or give it to Canada and change for Alberta. I don't know. But I would be okay if we got rid of California. Maybe we take their statehood away. Or, which has been talked about before in history, is California breaking into two states, North California, South California. This has been proposed in the past history. And so maybe they ought to do that, separate. And then maybe the good people of California continue to grow and do what they need to do. And the idiots can be in the idiot side. I don't know which is which, but you know what I mean? So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Maybe California should split, become North California, South California, just like North Dakota and South Dakota. I don't know. So they can't be West and East because they're not West and East; they're North and South. But I'd be happy to get rid of them. I mean, that whole train thing is stupid that they wasted billions of dollars on. Really stupid. And, James Robinson lives out in California, and he takes me with me. He takes me with him. I don't know. He calls me on the phone, and we hang out in California, and he shows me around. Yeah, we could get rid of California. Cruising is fun anytime. Hey, everybody, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Sorry about that. It looks like I've seen some alerts. It looks like you guys have been busy. So how are you? How are things going? We miss you. We're glad you're here. Thank you for coming in. Everybody say hello to Cruising is Fun Anytime. There's a great channel, guys. And the Ika the Great. Good morning, everybody. Out in the Philippines, enjoying the weather like Tim is. So how are you, Mr. Great? The great one, the only one. How are you? So thank you for coming in. We appreciate you. Everybody say hello to the great. I like that. We're going to just call you great. The great one. The great one. So, yeah, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for everything. Appreciate that. The shout out. Henry says, hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. So, all right. I don't know Tagalog or Visayan. So, I'm going to try to pronounce it. Sa na oil. I don't know. I have no clue what you're talking about. Me be smart. Tim says hello to you, the great one. Hi, Tim. So I don't know. My wife tries to teach me, and it just goes right over the head. It doesn't sink in at all. So I mean at all. Period. I barely have learned one or two words. Now, when I'm in a group of Filipinas, I can pick up on a lot of it, but I can't speak it. But I'm a very good reader of body language. So between body language, tone, inflection, and some of the words, I can kind of understand what they're talking about. Now, I will say this 99% of the time, when all the girls are here, I don't care what they're talking about. I don't want to know what they're talking about. I don't want to hear them talking. Pat says, Slamat, yes, and my slang is not good. Lorelai laughs at me, yes, it's difficult. It is. Luke, Tim wants to know where you're at, Mr. Great. Pat says, Camus. Because it's like every two syllables, right? CA, then you have the MU, then the STA, versus in America where you do three. So that's where I get really screwed up at. I'm not in the Philippines. Oh, you're not in the Philippines now. All right, we're back in America ourselves. So which homeland are you in? Because I can't remember if you're either English or French. I've listened to you a few times, and I can't remember if you're English or French. I don't think you're Australian. But you kind of have a French thing going on. Belgium. Well, is that kind of in between the two? Would that kind of be halfway between? Pat says, I'm not good also, Brother David, learning. I'm not either. I mean, I just can't do it. I'm too old. I don't care. To be honest, I really don't give a shit what they're talking about. I don't care. I mean, I know that sounds bad, but whatever. The Gossip Squad is what I call that, Henry says. Yes, it is. What I hate about it is how it starts off as a conversation like this, and then all of a sudden it starts getting a little bit louder, and then all of a sudden the volume's way up here, and you think they're going to kill each other, but they're not having that type of conversation. Drives me crazy. I'm like, let's bring it down, No, we're not fighting. We're laughing at your hat. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? No, I'm in Europe next to France. See, I knew that. See, that French stuff had to bleed over. You give off a French vibe. Now, I love Belgium candy and chocolates. We got an uncle that's German. He's living in the Philippines now. But before he moved to the Philippines and retired with his Filipino wife, he used to send me every year a big box of German chocolates, Belgium chocolates, Swiss stuff. Oh man, he was my favorite person in the world. But now he's living in the Philippines and doesn't send me shit. But it's Lorelai's aunt's husband. But they have nothing to send me from the Philippines. What are you going to send me? More mango? I mean, I can buy that at the store over here. You can buy the Philippine mango at Walmart now. Slamat po. Wa la ing an uma. Yeah, no clue, Tim. I know what slamat is thank you, po is sir. What I hate about the Philippine language is how they have a trouble they have trouble with him and her. I've had to work hard with Lorelai when she talks about somebody at work. She's like, well, she might mention Susie's name. And as she's talking about Susie, she keeps saying him. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Who is him? Well, that's Susie. Well, that's a her. I can't, some of you guys from the Philippines and been in the Philippines understand this. I have a real trouble with following it sometimes because they kept messing that up. Well, her said this, and I'm like, well, who is her? Oh, there we go. The great says, how long are you already in the Philippines? We've been married 10 years, going on 11. So I've been to the Philippines several times, but we lived there for a year when Typhoon Odette hit. We got our asses kicked by Typhoon Odette. And then after it started to recover, we made the decision because we had a house in America already that we actually was having built to be a rental property. So we had a place to come back to, and I got burned out and tired of being poor in the Philippines. Or, what was really strange is I felt really weird because here I am as an American. I have all this money in America, I have all these assets, but here I am dragging water in to flush a freaking toilet. So you kind of get a little burned out on the rough life. So, and I was having some health issues due to the heat and the mosquitoes because we didn't have all the things that we needed to do. And my ankles were bad. We shouldn't have gone to the Philippines when we did. We should have waited another 6 months to a year for my ankle to heal. So we came back to America and we've been here ever since. They also have age-related ways of speaking. Age-related ways of speaking. What do you mean, Tim? Can you expand upon that? What do you mean by age related way of speaking? And yeah, what do you mean by that? Yeah, I'm trying to figure that one out. So we're back in the United States. Lorelei has a really good job, makes her a lot of good money, good retirement. We have land in the Philippines, and we got to go back in 26 and make a decision about whether we're going to just keep the land and do nothing with it, whether we're going to build some rental properties on it, and or we're going to build a retirement home on it. We don't know what we're doing. Anyfin is in the house, checking in for a soggy campground. Temp is 40s. Woo-wee. Anyfin is one of my good fishing buddies. He's got a great YouTube channel that is growing by leaps and bounds. Someday he's going to be bigger than Mr. Beast. I'm just telling you. So if you guys haven't checked him out, I wish you would. A great family channel, great fishing channel. Now, I don't know how good of a fisherman he is. He kind of seems to be about a 50-50 fisherman, but he's a really good guy with a good channel. So 40s is cold. We were in Alabama fishing, Anyfin, down there. When my dog died, we were down in Alabama and Florida. And we were fishing in 85 degrees weather, beautiful weather. And then we get back to where we are in northern Arkansas, and it's 50 degrees and raining. I'm just like, man, 85 to 50 really sucks. Anyfin, Pat saying hello to you, Anyfin. Yeah, thank you, Pat, for saying hello to our good friend. Anyfin, it's possible. Hey, Pat, good to see you. Saying something to seniors is different than saying the same thing to younger you are. Okay, I'll have to try to figure that one out. You know what I mean? I don't know if you have an example or something, but I'm gonna have to work on that one because I haven't noticed that, but I don't know the language, so I haven't noticed that. 50-50 is pretty good for a dirty lion fisherman. I know. I'm telling you, we were in Alabama. We were catching these fish that were gigantic, you know. We did catch about 60 fish that we brought home we were going to do a lot more fishing, but after my dog Daisy died, man, it just broke my heart and I canceled the trip. But we got about 60 fish in, about the size of a really big perch or crappie. Saltwater fish. I think they're called pigfish. Lorelei's very happy that she got that many. We also were able to find fish heads down there in Alabama. Now, we overpaid for the grouper heads, we found out, so we got screwed on the grouper heads. But we got a couple red snapper heads. She ate one of them while we were there, and she has another one. So here soon, Lorelei is going to do a video about how to process a fish head. I want her to do a video. You need a meat cleaver and a hammer, but she's going to show you guys how they deconstruct a fish head and how to cook it. The Gray says, I don't like fishing, but I like to eat fish. The funny thing is, I like to fish more than I like to eat the fish. I'm more, let me catch it and throw it back. Now, unless it's really good, like a grouper or a red snapper. So Pat says, welcome. Tim says, Po Kuya. Kuya means brother, sir, brother. Or uncle. Is it brother or uncle? Tim, Kuya, brother or uncle or both? older male, right? Kuya is just kind of like an older male, but not like a father. Am I right? We are at the Pennsylvania YouTube meetup. Nice. Great. That is outstanding. So you got a bunch of other fishing channels and people coming and hanging out with you at the campgrounds? That's awesome. It's going to be on this channel. Yes, it'll be on this channel. It will be. It'll be on this channel. Perch are good fighting fish for the size of them. Yeah, yeah. They are. We love catching fish. Well, maybe one of these days you invite me to a meetup and I can go fishing. But no, apparently not. Maybe Anyfin is intimidated by my fishing skills. I don't know. But that's great that you guys are having a meetup. I think that's impressive. And I'm very happy for you guys because your channel is rocking it. Leo Yang, welcome back. I'm here. Good to have you. Leo, everybody say hello to Leo. Leo, give us a thumbs up as you come in. Anyfin says, I like to eat fish and not pay for them so I catch them. All right. Look, we need to have that discussion then. Kuya is brother, Tito is uncle. Okay, all right. That makes sense, Tim. When we go fishing, Anyfin, everybody else, we are buying that fish. I was telling the lady at this fish store down in Florida, because we bought some fish that had been processed. We were talking, nice lady, she's Asian, I think she was Thailand or I don't know. But anyway, everyone was invited, we'll try to grow it every year. Nice. We've been thinking about doing that too. Doing something like that in this region. Pat and I have talked about it. Joe and a bunch of other people have all talked about doing something like that in this region too. So, yes, here fish are very expensive now. Best place to eat is Louisville, Kentucky restaurant called Kingfish. Brother David, all right, I'll put that in my notes. But I was talking to this lady, and she's like, oh, you know what I find is really funny is these guys come into our store who just spent $1,800 on a charter boat. They bring me the two snappers. I process them. I give them back about $100 worth of snapper. But they spent $1,800 to get $100 worth of snapper. You know. And I told her, I said, I understand, I get it. And I told her, I said, look, even for me, if I go trout fishing, rainbow trout fishing, between my gas, my bait, the tackle that I've already purchased and bought, I could probably go to Walmart and buy it just as cheap. So we're paying for those fish one way or the other, Anyfin, I'm telling you. You'll have to try it? Yeah, we'll definitely have to try it. So don't be disillusioned that when you go fishing, the fish is free, because that ain't happening, brother. I'm telling you. I mean, look, and I know you got a lot of fishing gear. I got a garage full of fishing gear. There's probably $8,000 or $9,000 worth of fishing gear out there. So it's going to take many, many, many years before the fish that I catch is free. Yep, they ain't doing it right. That's rich folks having fun. We fill our freezer. Yeah, and it is. And that's what I told this lady, because I've done that. I've been on a lot of charters, deep sea charter boats, and I love them. But I told her, I said, you got to understand, we're not doing it for the meat. We're doing it for the entertainment value. Let's see if that messed up my phone. So, yeah, we do it for entertainment. That's what it is. And I enjoy it, but I don't like the big boats where you get 90 people on a boat. I don't do that. I do real charter fishing. Love it, but it's entertainment. Now, we get lucky and can bring some fish home. Hey, that's great. Last year when we were down by Henry, Mississippi, we caught a whole bunch of like mackerel. And one of the Filipinos got really excited and crazy and wanted to take it all home. So we just gave it to her. Don't complain about what? What are we complaining about? Mrs. Pack is in the house. Everybody said hello to Mrs. Pack. I'm not complaining. We hustle the banks and the piers all day, usually come home with a few meals. Yes, you can do it. I didn't know you were live streaming. Lorelei says, you're live streaming. Why are you live streaming, boy? Hi, Lorelei. Pat says, thank you, Pat, for saying hello to the wife. Everybody said hello to the wife. Tell her how lucky she is that she married me. You can tell her. I know you guys all want to. Yeah, we do that too. We like to fish and bring home fish. We do, and it's fun. Maybe cost it's not, but it's still fun. It's entertainment. It's the best thing you can do is go fishing. Wife's, yes, got the wife in the house, iPad, HN, and any Vince is my fishing buddy, Lorelai. Hello, Mrs. Pack from Tim. So yeah, we love to fish. Lorelai's a good fisher person too. She's really good at it. So she likes to fish. I'm better, but But she's going to do a video where she chops up a big old red snapper head. She's going to show you guys how to deconstruct a snapper head. We're going to make a video of it. Because we did one in Alabama, man, and it was a booger. Pat says, be right back. I got to go outside and pee. Yep, I caught a generic fish. That's right. We caught about 60 generic fish. I think somebody was calling them a pigfish, right? A pigfish or a hogfish. Let me see if I can Google it and see what it is. Yep, pigfish. Let me see what Wikipedia says about the pigfish. Or hogfish, piggy perch, redmouth grunt, sailor's choice, species of blah, blah, blah. It grunts. They grunt, kind of like me. Are they good to eat, I hope? Pigfish are a good snook bait. Yes, they are good bait. Have you ever had snook to eat? I don't think... I've never been told that snook is great to eat. Pigfish or spot fish, okay? Sometimes being used as bait fish, which anyone knows, pigfish are considered quite tasty by many. So we got like 60 of them in the freezer. They have a mild, sweet flavor, kind of like crappie, and are white flesh, making suitable various culinary preparations, including sashimi. Some even rank pigfish among their top 5 all-time favorite fish to eat. Ooh, man, we did good. We did good. Nope. Yeah, I've never heard of anybody saying, I know I would like to catch snook. I've never caught one. But, I also like to catch some shark, but I really want to catch a Goliath grouper, one of those 400-pound groupers. You can't keep them and eat them, but, I use a $25 combo for almost, yeah, I'm with you. I don't use, I'm kind of particular about the rods, but I like ultralights for freshwater and saltwater too. And I kind of burn through them, so I buy Lew's for about $18 each. I get these. And I do have some really nice saltwater gear that we purchased at Walmart on clearance and all of that. So, and I have some really nice Penreel saltwater that a friend gave me when he passed away, before he passed away. So I got some really nice gear. But yeah, we use, the same way. They're not real expensive rods and reels. But I am kind of particular about the rods. The guy was noisy because I caught a lot of, oh yeah, it was funny. The redfish, Lorelei, yes. The guy was noisy because I caught a lot of fish. Oh, they say, no way, I just dropped him, yeah. Yeah, we were able to just drop in and catch them left and right. And there was people around us that wasn't catching any fish, but they didn't know how to do it. And we weren't going to tell them. No, we would have if they would ask, but, he didn't ask. Sanders is in the house, my friend. Oh, it's live, end of April, yes. Sanders, how are you? Stopping by, giving a thumbs up, heading to bed, working 9 to 5 tomorrow. I have to be there 6 a.m. Well, you better get to bed, boy. Everybody say hello to Sanders. If you guys haven't subscribed to him, please do. I caught a lot of fish at the meetup, maybe too many. I'm getting dirty looks. You gotta love them dirty looks. I love it. I love it. I love those dirty looks, man. That's exciting. That's the live individual. Oh, Lorelai dropped the link to our live stream. Which live stream was it? The one at the beach? The one where you cut up the fish head? I don't know which live stream you're talking about. I was showing how we cut it up. Yeah, it's just not a very good video, Lorelai. That's why I want you to redo it. You know, when you're ready to cut that fish head up, I'm going to make a good video of you really trying to. Because we had a very, very dull knife at the Airbnb, and it wasn't very good for cutting up a big old fish head. So we're going to remake that video, is what we're going to do. Sanders is a good guy. If you guys haven't subscribed, do that, please. He's one of the hardest working people in the world. Someday he's going to retire filthy rich. But I think the best thing you can do is go fishing for therapy, psychological help, getting children involved in outdoor activities. You just can't go wrong. So, but yeah, nice. Henry says, well, you know, it's getting late. I need the rain to stop so I can get up and work on my car, you know. So I'm going to go to bed and relax and enjoy that. It is getting late. So, yes. Anything, if you're still hanging out, how many people do you have at your meetup? How many people came to your group? Henry, take care. We appreciate you. I want to see a fish head video. Sound like you have to redo it, Lord. Yes, we're going to have to redo it. But I get it. I'm stuck with dull knives all the time. Got to use what you got. Yes. And these are big fish heads. They're not trout fish heads. You know, well, you know, you've been in saltwater. The one we got was a few red snappers. I caught 2 and quiet since I can't take it. Yes, when we went down there. It's really heavy to catch. Can't take them home since they were out of season. So I just stopped fishing and watched them. Yeah, we went down in the Gulf of America out of Brownsville, Texas, a few years ago. And we went red snapper fishing out of season because the buddy we were with, who's an old man, wanted to catch a big fish. We could have fished for stuff to take home, but he really wanted to catch something big. So we went snapper fishing, and Lorelai caught a few, but she got bored and went, well, since I can't eat the damn thing, I'm not going to fish anymore. So, where is it? Let's see. Here. See, that's what we did. That's what we did, right there. I butcher snappers daily at my side hustle. Smelly fish, but delicious. It is. I did that. I retired filthy, so halfway. I did it halfway. There you go. Tim. I have a few in the freezer maybe I can make. Yeah, you can do it. So anything that has a side hustle, do you process fish then? Is that part of the side hustle? I think it'd be a lot of work, to be honest. I think it'd be hard. Processing fish, I really do. I mean, I'm pretty good at filleting a few crappie, you know, but, you know, yeah. Me not excellent when it comes to that stuff. But I enjoy, you know. But yeah, we, you know, Asians like the fish heads, the bones, they want everything, just not the guts. Fishmonger, 16 hours a week. Absolutely love it. Nice. Well, it's not too many hours, though. That's good. Grind is in the house. He's asking if we like trolls. I'm not a pro. I just use my instincts processing it since my motivation is to get all the meat out of it. Yeah, Lorelai's not a pro at it, or, you know, but she knows enough about the anatomy of the fish to figure out how to get all of the meat out of those heads, because the heads have a lot of meat in it. So, but there's a technique to it, and she can do it, but we're going to do a better video on that. Grind says, okay, I'll troll next time. All right, well, that makes you happy. We want everybody to be happy. I work 2 nights, 4 to 9 nights, and 6 hours on Sunday. All right, okay, that's good. So yeah, then you're used to using a knife, right? You know. Have a good night, Grind. Pat says, I'm back, everybody. I went outside and peed, but now I'm back. Poor Pat gets picked on so much. The Great says, happy weekend, everybody. Yes, tomorrow for us, it starts the weekend. Tonight's Friday night in the great United States. So, yes, we got a lot to do this weekend, Lorelai. Whether Lorelai knows it or not, we got a lot to do. Pat says, yes, 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 I will share that out. I'm very interested in that. We will sell the heads for, yeah, exactly. That's what we do. We bought a bunch of grouper heads back that they're going to render down in soup. But sometimes, like red snappers and grouper, if they're not, grouper has these holes where there's a bunch of meat. You probably know this. So if they don't process it all the way, there's a lot of meat in fish heads. So you can take them and have like fish nuggets, like chicken nuggets, fish nuggets out of fish heads. Lorelai taught me that. So yes, Jamaicans always come by them. Yeah, I believe it. Jamaicans, Filipinos, Asians. So that's what I mean. We could go back down to Florida, load up a truckload of coolers of fish heads, bring them back and double our money, including cost. Yes, depending on the fish, but I have one snapper left. She only has one snap. We should have bought more red snapper heads, but that's all they had, wasn't it? Cheek meat, yeah. It's good meat, man. It's good eating. I mean, seafood store. Few fresh restaurants selling the jaw of the head. Yeah, the rest, yeah, stores. Yeah, David, so far I like it. Yeah, so far I like it. But we should have bought more red snapper, but I can't remember if that's all they had. I don't remember. I know we kind of got hustled on the grouper, but we've learned. Has anybody ever been horned by a fish? They say horn. You mean stabbed? I've been stabbed. I was stabbed in the freezer the other day by one of her fish heads. Man, I got more puncture wounds from fishing in my life than you could ever imagine. Best meat on a bluefish is the cheek. I didn't know that. Wow. I think we would like that. We have other fish but no jaws. Okay, yes. Pat says, yes. Oh yeah, Pat, I've been stabbed by fish fins. But, you do learn how to deal with it, but you still get stuck. There's certain ways to hold and grab fish. But look, you're still going to get stuck. Doesn't feel good, no. And even says, what do you do that fish, Pat? What you do that fish, Pat? What did you do to that fish, baby? Yes. It will bleed. Yeah. You bleed. Man, but it hurts. But the bad thing is, it's like here, I got stuck by something in the freezer, man, just moving things around. And not only did it stick me, but it sliced me. So it's kind of like, wow. But even fishing, getting the fish off the hooks and all that, man, you get cut up and chewed up like you've been in a fist fight. I got nailed by a dead black drum last week. It hurts bad. Wow. Black drum are cool fish, though. They are one stout fish. I've caught a few of those. We didn't catch any this trip, though. A few years ago, went fishing with my stepfather's friend, got stuck by a fish. Yeah. Well, you got to watch the catfish. Everybody says, oh, the catfish, just grab them the right way. What you got to watch out for is all the other fish that have little, so you just got to grab them right. You want to grab their head like this. You want to kind of grab them down like this. And so that you're bending the fins down, not up against you, but down. Pike tore me up when I was guiding. Got a nasty infection too. Damn, man. Lorelai's asking, my wife is asking if you got a saltwater boat. She's looking for me to have a saltwater fishing buddy is what she's doing. I said, yeah, so they're, you got to handle them a certain way. It's just the key. Not a big deal. Not a big deal if you just kind of learn. And you got to understand which fish has teeth and which don't. And that's why on my vest, I always have hemostats and pliers. That way, I don't necessarily have to get my fingers in the hook. I can just unhook it with pliers and pop it off. Nah, we stay in freshwater. If we go to the ocean, we are surf fishing like poor old bums. That's the best way though, buddy. I haven't been surf fishing in years. I've just been inshore fishing a lot. So pier fishing, in shallow water in the mud, you get those red drums and the whitefish and some other things. But we were kind of like in a seawall when we got all of these pigfish. You can pee if you're concerned to get infected before getting medicated. Lorelai is saying if you get poked by a fish, just pee on it and you won't have to worry about getting an infection. Okay. I know a lot of people pee on it for jellyfish stings, right? But I don't know about anything else, Lorelai. But we don't get to, that's why we want to move further south. We're looking forward someday to get to go down to Florida or Alabama to live on a permanent basis. So, but right now we're stuck in traffic, as I said earlier. So, Pat says, I remember I was walking barefoot in the Philippines. Why in the hell would you walk barefoot in the Philippines anywhere? At the beach, the little things that curl up and sting your feet, what are those, Brother David? Well, Pat, I don't know. Lorelai, what are the little things that curl up? You talking about like sea urchins? I don't know, but I would never go barefoot in the Philippines anywhere. My wife says anything, she is jealous. She is very jealous of you. He has a great channel, Lorelai. He does a great job, and he's a good guy. Lorelai loves to fish. I don't know, Pat. Were they like sea urchins? Were they round? Were they snake-like? What were they? But I would never go barefoot in the Philippines anywhere. And Anyfin says, hey, well, I pee on my feet daily just to make sure I don't get infections. All right, Anyfin, we believe that one. Peeing on it is proven not effective for stings. So, okay, Tim, I'm curious, right? Then why do so many people think they should pee on a sting from a jellyfish? I know when I watch like the Australian lifeguard shows, they got a chemical solution that they use for stings, but round and small, I don't know. You're going to have to Google that, Pat, and see if you can figure out what you're talking about. Are they edible? Do they eat them in the Philippines like a sea urchin or maybe a clam or something? There you go. Lorelai says maybe it's not pee from the drunk person of alcohol. So maybe the alcohol content in the pee is the problem. Would those be like crawl dead series in the sands? Yeah, it could be sand fleas. Sand fleas, you can gather those up. Use them for fish bait. Sand fleas can bug you. I know that much. Because it's an old fisherman story. Well, look, I'm going to tell you something, Tim and everybody else that's listening. You got to understand this. Everything that you see on the internet is the truth. Everything that a fisherman tells you is the truth, all right? Anything knows exactly what I'm talking about. Anything fishermen tell you is the absolute godly truth. There's no lying if you're a fisherman. Not serious, my spelling. All right, don't worry about your spelling, Pat. I understand. Yeah, that's probably what they are, sand fleas or something, or little crabs or something. But look, don't go barefoot in the Philippines. I don't go barefoot in American sand very much. Lorelai does. Lorelai's the brave one. People go to the beach and drink alcohol. That's why their pee content is an alcohol to sanitize. Ah, so Lorelai says you got to be drunk and have a very high content of alcohol in your pee before it works, because then it's a sanitizer. Oh my God. Oh my God. Anyfin says, yep, I caught a 900-pound marlin tonight. in this pond of all places. See, and I believe you, buddy. I mean, look, fishermen don't lie. Just saying. You got a video of that, anything? We did do a live stream on the beach in Destin, Florida. Lorelai wanted to go hang out at the beach in Destin, Florida while we were there. So I did a live stream while she played in the ocean or the Gulf. Tim says, I only go barefoot when I'm in my house. See, Tim knows you don't go barefoot in the Philippines. I don't even go barefoot in the house. I don't do it in America. I got really flat feet. So if I walk around too much, I wind up hurting my ankles really bad. So I wear shoes. My word is my bond. There you go. No video? Don't need a video. I said it, it happened. I'm telling you, like those pigfish we got, they were gigantic. They were probably the largest pigfish ever caught in the world. We should have probably applied for some records, but we didn't do it. We fish, yeah, we were right there. Yeah, we know the area very, very well. Real close, yep, it is. We've been there, done that, we've been there too. I'm half jealous only. I bet a lot of fish in there. Yes, white sands. Yeah, Destin and Navarre, that area has some beautiful white sand based out of the shells that come out of the Appalachian Basin. And that's why that sand is so white. There's beautiful shell that gets crushed as the water comes out of the Appalachian Basin. Beautiful sand. We brought some back. Lorelai and I were doing a live stream. You know, I think Pat was on there. A few people were on there. And while we're doing it, while we're live streaming, one of her friends here in Arkansas calls her and says, hey, I see that you're standing in the white sands of Destin. Can you bring me some back? So I thought that was funny that she had people going, hey, bring me some white sand. Yep, the beach is hiding things. It's not safe for bare feet. Yeah, I agree. You just got to be careful. Well, and you truly got to be careful about the trash at beaches. You got to be really careful. There are a lot of places that clean up very well, but there are some places that don't. We saw signs all over the beach area, all over Alabama and Florida, that says anything left on the beach after dark would be disposed of. So they have a crew that comes through sometime in the morning and cleans off anything that's left, towels, shoes, $10,000 that I left there accidentally, whatever it may be. They clean it off, so in the next day, the beaches are really good. No, Pat, we drove down there in February. A fishcation, that's the way to do it. We went on a business We went on a business house hunting and fishing vacation. But as you guys know, we cut it short. So but I do got a little bit of video that I'm gonna show you guys about our trip. I was thinking about charging sand per gram if they asked me to bring. I agree, you should. You know, $10 a gram, you know. I'm going back to work now. My love, see you later. All right, Lorelai, be safe. Talk to you in a little while when you get home. That says, right on, brother. I enjoy talking to you guys. Good night, everybody. Everybody say good night to Lorelai. Have a great shift, Lori. Thank you, Annie Finn, for telling her that. We appreciate that. Good night, Lorelai, from Pat. So yeah, it's we love fishing. We love the beach. We love everything. We want to live much closer. We just can't figure out. We got a lot of irons in the fire, so to speak, that's preventing us from doing it today. Is that HM? Yeah, HM was here. You mean HN or HM? Who are you referencing, anything? Oh, her name is spelled Lorelai. That's correct. So what Pat put in there is correct. If you saw that's Lorelai. That's how she spells her name, is Lorelai. But she goes by Lori. She understands and doesn't have a people calling her Lori. It happens all the time. But her real name is Lorelai. Yes. So, but she doesn't mind, and we understand. We do. I mean, I can't get people to call me by my correct name. I've been telling people for years my name is Lord and Master of the Universe, but nobody will call me that. I don't understand why. But that's what my name is. It's kind of the same thing with my beach house, Henny Finn. I don't know if you know this, but I've been e-begging for $5 million so that I can buy Lorelei a beach house down in Florida. But nobody will give me the money, and I don't understand why. I don't know. Does anybody have a reason why you won't give me $5 million so I can buy a house on the? I actually don't want a beach house. I want a house on the intercoastal waterway with a boat dock and a pool for Lorelei. This is all for her, not for me. But it needs to have a boat and a boat dock and all that stuff on the intercoastal waterway. Yeah, good, because my brain's out of warranty. Yes, we all right with that. Yeah, 5 million. 5 million is all I'm asking. That's why Tim says, that's why I say Mrs. Pack. That's right. And we do go by PAC, Philippine American Couple is what PAC stands for. And even 5 mil, short of 5 mil. Yeah, I'm short of 5 million. Well, here's what I want. And everybody knows this. So I need the $5 million because I'm going to take $2.5 million. I'm going to buy the house. So we're not looking for a gigantic house for Lorelei. This is all for Lorelei. Don't look, nothing for me. So it needs to be badass house with a boat and all that cool shit for Lorelei, of course. But I'm going to take the $2.5 million and buy the house. I'm going to take the other $2.5 million and invest it so that I can pay the taxes and the insurance on the house for as long as she's alive. So that's why I need $5 million, because I need the other $2 million, plus probably need to buy a new boat and some fishing tackle for Lorelei, for my wife. This is not for me. Pat says, I've seen a Civil War house mansion for sale in Alabama, 149 something. I'm really, yeah. There's a lot of that. We have, yeah. There's some really cool houses down south. There are. I can't live in a 2-story because, my ankles and legs are so bad and my heart is bad. So I would go up the stairs and fall down. And he says, sorry, it's wet and cold out here. I'm 5 whiskeys in. Well, you need another one then. Just keep the whiskeys a-coming. Very nice house. Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of nice houses and there's a lot of places that are more affordable than where we live. We live in a part of the country that everything's so damn expensive, it's unbelievable. So we want to have a better life. For me, not only do I want a better house at a better price, but I want a better environment. I spend a good 4 months out of the year locked up in my house because it's too cold. And if I could live somewhere where I only spend a month out of the year locked up in my house because it's too cold, I'd be very happy. And granted, I do get tired. I do get tired of fishing. Lorelei was telling me today, she's giving me a hard time because we were talking about this, about her future fishing house. That she's like, well, you're going to get bored of fishing all the time. I said, well, yeah, but that's why you have a lot of different fishing locations. You go to this spot and you fish. You kind of get burned out. You move to another spot and you fish. You move over here and you fish. And you kind of rotate through 10 or 12 different places. That's why you do that. And then hopefully your neighbor has a boat. If my $1 million house, doesn't have a boat. But if we live somewhere where we're living like now and we don't have a nice house, then what we would simply do is befriend a neighbor who has a boat and go fishing with him some. So I have a strategy, but yes, I can't fish every day because that's not fun. You got to wait until you have the excitement. The other night when we were in Alabama, we were catching so many fish so fast, and I was throwing back little ones. We were catching so many fish so fast, I got tired. I'm like, holy button farts, holy butt farts. I am sitting here and I am tired. I had to take a break because we were just catching them left and right. And a lot of them we threw back. We only kept the nice big ones. But man, so I get tired, I'm a human. I get tired. I get wore out. But I'm into it. When you get that fishing excitement, woo-wee. So anyway, if anybody in your community would like to donate $5 million to me, I would be happy to take it so I can buy that house. Now, what I will do as an incentive to you, Anyfin, I will invite you and your families to come down and join us for a fishing trip. That's how good of a guy I am. Just saying. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're excited. We're happy. We survive is what we do. Don't fish so much that it becomes like, exactly, exactly. I mean, it's like anything. If you like a sport and then it becomes work, it's no fun. Pat says, sure. Pat, same thing with you. Sis, whiskey's in. What type of whiskey are you having? Iberia? I hear you. Six, what kind of, what are you drinking? Tell me what you're drinking. I want to know, where you're at. I want to know if you got the good stuff or if you got the not good stuff. That's what I want to know. Pat says, I would give me $5 million. Pat says he would give me $5 million. Is that what you're saying, Pat? Is that what you're agreeing to? Bottom shelf, it's dark, no clue. Oh, that's funny. Been there, done that. The older I get, the wiser I get. I know that the cheap stuff will give a bad next day. So I don't drink as much as I used to. I only drink a little bit now. Bottom shelf, yes. Pat likes it. I come join your brother. Oh, you'll come down in Florida to join us. All right, yeah, we'll invite you down. Look, anybody that helps makes our $5 million house dream or 2.5 million dream, whatever you want to call it, our dream come true, you're more than welcome to come spend the weekend and go fishing. Prepare yourself. Yes. You got to. Top shelf or speed rack. It's a Fleischmann's. I've never even heard of that. Fleischmann's whiskey. Never heard of it. It sounds like bottom shelf. Sounds like bottom shelf. But the only whiskey we have in the house is Crown. We don't, look, I'm not a big drinker. So if I'm going to drink something, since I don't drink a lot, I try to, buy the good stuff or, halfway good stuff. We got a friend that drinks Maker's Mark like water, literally. He goes through a bottle a day. I mean, easily. So we know people that. When I was a kid, I met this guy because I was been around the Filipino community forever. His name was Bill. He's dead now. Big old boy. And we worked on the same shift, and he couldn't drive because he lost his driver's license due to DWIs. So I would take him to the liquor store once in a while so he could buy his weekly supply of booze. And man, he would buy whiskey, and on the way back, he's down in these. Only a weekend, no more than that. Well, it depends on how much money. We can come back another weekend, I guess. I think, Tim, it depends on how much money you put into the pot. I mean, if you pony up the whole 5 million, I guess you could come down twice. So, and I think that's a pretty damn good deal. I'd take you out on the boat you bought me. You can fish off my boat dock. We'll probably let you sleep in the guest house or maybe get you a hotel room. I don't know. Pat says, I don't drink a lot. I also drink 2 beers, small whiskey, Jack Daniels, or Jim Beam. All right. I like a Jack and Coke. Jack and Coke is good once in a while. Rum and Coke, 12 bucks. I have 2 good sleeping bags. I have a wife and 2 kids here in the rain. I'm in the trenches. You're doing good, Eddie Finn. You brought your family, man. You're doing good, buddy. You're doing good. Most people couldn't tolerate to bring their wife and kids on a fishing weekend. So hats off to you. I'm done through the day. Have a little drink. Yeah, we actually, Lorelai doesn't drink hardly at all. I mean, hardly at all. I like good beer. I'm a Guinness guy and a Red Horse guy. I do like wine coolers. I kind of enjoy wine coolers, believe it or not. I really like those. I don't like regular wine. I think it's disgusting. So I'm not a wine drinker at all. Just not. Tim says, Jack on the rocks with a splash of water. Yeah, yeah. I've never really drank anything that has like the energy drinks in it. I haven't done that. So I do like mojitos. I'm a big fan of mojitos. I like martinis. Maybe when I go on the cruise ship, I drink martinis. They got great martinis. So, and I love a good pomegranate martini or a chocolate martini. I really like them. I drink martinis But I can't make one and wouldn't buy the stuff to make it. I just get it on the cruise ships. Pat says, I can't overdo drinking of my heart. Yeah, I can't either. Well, and I don't even like to overdrink. You know, one good, and I do like Heineken. My light beer is Heineken. So not Heineken light, but just Heineken is light beer. I consider it to be a light beer. Guinness is what I normally drink, or Red Horse. But I only usually have one beer, maybe two max, because I just get too full. You know, I'm just like, oh. And that's all you need. But Anyfin, you know, needs to drink a bottle of whiskey, you know, on his fishing trip. But that's what we do, but, you know. Tim's wanting to know, Pat, with your bad heart, are you doing a salt restriction? Tim, I'll tell you, with mine, my doctor has never recommended a salt reduction. I mean, they gave us stuff about how to have a healthy heart, and it does talk about a low sodium diet. But with my heart condition, my doctor has never said, hey, you need to lay off the salt. But I actually don't like salt. Pat says, can't have salt either, doctor, but put you off. Good. Are you using that Mr. Dash? Is that what it's called, Mr. Dash? There's my grandfather used to use it. He was diabetic with heart problems. Mr. Dash or Mrs. Dash, something like that. But I actually don't like salt. No, I'm not a big salt fan. I like soy sauce, but it needs to be in very little quantity. I'm just not a salt fan. I don't like salt on watermelon. I don't like salt. I just don't. But yeah, Mr. Dash or Mrs. Dash, something like that. I don't know. Pat says, I'm using Mrs. Dash. Okay. I've used it before. I can't remember what it tastes like, if it's any good or not. I don't know. But I think that's a good alternative. You got to lay off the stuff for the bad heart. You know, I just have my heart condition is usually different than most people's. You know, I have the low ejection fraction rate. So if they took my pacemaker out, and my heart would slow down and wouldn't pump blood, is the problem. Yeah, you got to get the no salt beer. Do they have a salt-free beer? Yes, beer has a lot of sodium in it. That's true. I wonder if that's what makes you want to drink more like pretzels, salt pretzels. Pat says, oh, you didn't know, Tim. See, we're learning something here tonight, guys. That's a good thing. I don't think Pat's a big, gigantic beer drinker, though, Tim. I know I'm not. Like I said, 2 Guinnesses, 1 Guinness usually is fine for me. If I'm having a long night, I might have another one. If I got friends here that are really close and we're sitting outside enjoying the evening, maybe 2. But we really like those wine coolers. How about the wine coolers? Pat says, nope, not a big drinker. You know, like the Bartles and James, or the maybe even the Zimas are okay, but there's a lot of those Seagram's ones. We drink a lot of those. We have a tendency to sit outside and drink a bunch of those. I will tell you that there is one wine that we drink a lot of here. We give out a lot. The Stella Rose wine. I don't like wine, but I would drink that because it tastes like Kool-Aid. So you can take Stella Rose wine, and they have a lot of really good flavors like pineapple, mango, tropical, apple. They got a lot of really good flavors. It's cheap. It's about $11 a bottle. The women folk love it. When we serve it, man, they drink that shit down like it's water. But I gotta admit, there's some of it like the mango and the tropical that I could just sit outside and drink out the bottle like it's a beer. It's really, really good. I mean, really good. Jose's in the house. Good evening, Jose. Everybody say hello to our good friend, Jose. How are you? What's going on in your part of the world? Do you like to drink? We happen to be talking about alcohol at the minute because Anyfin is busy drinking whiskey while he's out fishing. Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. We appreciate that as you came in. I was a beer drinker, Tim says. So I will live a long time because I am well preserved. There you go. I know beer will make you piss a lot. Is it the beer, or is it just the fact that you're consuming a lot of liquid? I mean, that is a serious question. If anybody knows the answer to that. Does beer make you piss because the chemicals that are in it or the ingredients? Or is it just because you're drinking a lot of fluid? Is it some kind of natural, I don't know, flow opener, bladder opener thing? I don't know how you would call that. I just wonder if it's one of those. Right? Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question though. I don't know what you would call that drug or that process of allowing I know when you have I had kidney disease, I had kidney failure, and I know they gave me some medicine that made me pee like crazy. It opens everything up. And they did it intentionally because I was really in really bad shape after my coma. So it's not like a bronchial dilator, but it's something like that, opens up things. So I don't know what it is. But I remember, man, when I came out of my kidney surgery, man, every bump Lorelei hit, and I was pissing blood for about a month. And they told me that was perfectly normal. No, you're going to be pissing blood for quite a while. Gee, thanks. But and I had stents in my kidneys. I had stents in the tubes. So they had to go in and put stents in. And every bump we hit, holy butt farts, did it hurt. Oh, so beer, because you drink a lot. Salt will dehydrate you. Right. So salt dehydrates you. Sodium makes you feel dehydrated, so you consume more of the alcohol beverage, like eating the pretzels and you drink more alcohol in the bar, and then you piss a lot, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, they gave me some drugs that, man, because, they're like, oh no, you're going to be pissing blood for quite a while, but we want you to piss a lot of blood. We don't want any of the blood to get stuck. So we're going to make you piss a lot. I don't know, man. And I did. It was crazy. I even have a water pill now that I take for my heart. And then Pat, Tim, do you guys take water pills for your heart? So, did everybody say hello to Jose, by the way? If you guys didn't, you need to say hello to Jose for me. I think they're out of Texas, the great state of Texas. Why? My wife is back. She's working and she's spying on us. That's why the restaurant has a bar where they serve salty food for customers to order more beer. That's correct. That's the old bar trick. You give out pretzels, salted pretzels, so your patrons will drink more beer. That's correct. Absolutely. It's kind of like, yeah, it works. It works. Pat says exactly. Yes. Not yet, Brother David. My doctor's been running tests on that for me. Okay, good. I don't take the water pills. I don't like it. I don't like the water pill. If I take it too much, I have problems with it. So I've talked to my doctor, and we're able to back it way off. And so I only take one about once a week because I don't retain water. If I do, it's around my heart. But if I take it too much, man, do I have problems. I don't like it. It causes me to become dehydrated, and not a good way. And if you get dehydrated, you can fall down and bump your head. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't like them. The weird thing is, I drink Gatorade. I love Gatorade. So, yeah, you just got to be careful with water pills. And I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like the way it makes me feel when I take a lot of it. It gives my bladder cramps. It hurts my bladder. And I don't like how dizzy it makes me. So talking to the doc, we've been able to lay way off of it. So that's really good. So now I just take it once a week. Just because. Now, they've always told me that if I feel like I'm swelling or I'm having trouble with my heart. If it feels heavy, then go ahead and take one because maybe I'm retaining fluid that day. So that's part of what we do with it. But I don't know. A lot of people take it because they get fluids in their legs. Ooh, Tim says, I got to go see what's for lunch. Nice. Yeah, we're going to start winding this live stream down. Next 7 minutes, we're going to wind down. So what are you going to have? You're going to go look for one, so you don't know what you're going to have yet. But yeah, that sounds good, Tim. Having lunch. Wow. It's dinner time here. I mean, we're going to go to Jollibee's in June. So we're headed to Texas to go to Jollibee in that Chinese store. And we're going to visit some family in Dallas while we're there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get some nasty ass old Jollibee. Some Jollibee chicken is what we're going to do. So, well, let me just say, I want to thank everybody for coming in. Appreciate everybody. All the hard work you guys that support our channel. I will still like you, even if you don't give me the $5 million to buy my house. I understand, you know, that some people are just selfish and greedy and they don't want to share their money. I understand. So I won't hold it against you for not giving me $5 million. But, you know, what are we going to do? We're going to try, maybe this weekend, to do some live streams ourselves. Just need to see what the housekeeper fixed for me. Good. Must be nice. Tim. I don't have anybody fixing me food. I mean, I got to do it myself. Welcome, Brother David. Yes, yes. So, yeah, we appreciate everybody, all the thumbs up, all the shout-outs, all the work. We hope anything is okay in the morning. Thank you, everybody. Pat, we appreciate you. Tim, we appreciate you. Anything, appreciate you. Lorelei was in here. A lot of good people in here. During the night, oh my goodness gracious. I had a great live stream, good. All right, my friends, we appreciate everybody. There was a video you and Lorelei was cooking. What was that? Yeah, that was lamb meat. I didn't like it. It was too seasoned. We bought it pre-seasoned, Pat, and but I didn't like it. I thought it was too seasoned for me, but it came that way. But we like lamb. We've eaten lamb quite a bit, and we like lamb. So, Pat, cut down on your beer consumption. He will. He promises. There was a video. Tim says, okay. Yeah, it does. It tastes a lot like steak. Yeah. Yeah. I think if you cook it right, it's better than steak. We've had some lamb that has been so tender and juicy that it's unbelievable. So, yeah. Pat does only 2 beers a day. Nice. Well, maybe you ought to cut it down to 1 beer. Save that sodium content. Reduce your heart. Remember, you're going to go to the Philippines next year. I need you to be at your best. You need to be the healthiest you've ever been. You need to be the best looking you've ever been. You need to be the smartest you've ever been. And you need to wear shoes in the Philippines. So... All right, my friends, we appreciate you. Pat, just giving you a hard time. Hope you don't mind. But, yeah, lamb is good. It is. I didn't like that because it was too seasoned. So, but we like lamb. I need my best when I go. Yes, you need to be at your best. You got to make all of those Filipinas, when they look at you, they need to go, woo! Now, there's a man. And I want to cook him some pancit. So, all right, Pat, take care, everybody. We appreciate you guys. Let's sign off of here for tonight. And hopefully we'll see you guys sometime this weekend. Take care, be safe, and thanks for being here.